this is me with all the tea I'm about to spill. Just kidding, this is empty, but it's gonna happen. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna say it right now, if you haven't already, please subscribe below. So just hit that big red subscribe button. We're having a fun time with Vlogmas day 4 today. So I have been back and forth about if I wanted to cover this topic or not, just because it is kind of controversial and I have different feelings on it. But I was like, you know what? Now's the time. A lot of people actually have weirdly been asking me about my experience with BBG. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna dive in, give you guys my honest opinion on it and what it was like for me and all the tea as well. Once again, I really hope that you can hear me because there's construction going on always. So let's just hop right into this. So I actually have notes because I wanted to cover everything that I possibly could think about for you guys because, you know, it is something to really take into account when you're thinking about doing these guides, all that good stuff. So if you have no idea what BBG is, it's Kayla Itsines Bikini Body Guide. She's an Australian trainer. It's a 12-week program that she had a first guide, an original guide, she had a 2.0, and then she put 3.0 in her app. So now she has an app, I believe, called Sweat, which I was still in the Bbg community when that rolled out. So I actually got to like beta test it, which was really exciting, all that good stuff. But now, to be honest, I am gonna say, like, disclaimer, I don't know everything going on in the BBG world anymore right now, especially. I don't know all the different things they have to offer. I don't know what they've switched up. So I'm just gonna give you guys my background, my experiences, because I don't have a clue what's going on currently. I know that it's her, I know it's Kelsey, and I know it's some other girl who's like a yogi on the app. And I know Kelsey does more of like the post-pregnancy and the, I think it's called Power. So, I know it's called Power. Workout, it's like more like weightlifting, where Kayla's still doing the original BBG, which I'm not sure if she's even calling it BBG anymore. I think maybe overall the program is called Sweat, which I agree with that change because in itself the name Bikini Body Guide is like kind of fucked up in my opinion. Yet I did it for so long. I mean, so let's just like get into the nitty gritty. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna say that are, I'm just being fully transparent with you guys. And if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I did BBG for a really long time. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you guys through my process, my experience, and what happened for me. All right, so I guess I'll just break down everything. So if you go all the way back to the end of 2014, I was really kind of like unhappy with my body, and I started seeing all these transformations, and I oddly found Kayla on Twitter, and I remember just going to her Instagram after that and seeing all the transformations, all the 12-week transformations, and most specifically girls with abs, which I really wanted. And like, I don't think that makes me sound shallow. I think it's a very marketable thing for her, is that she helps people lean out, lose body fat, and get abs. But at the time, that's what I was really interested in. I was really insecure. I really wanted to lose body fat. I really wanted to just get in shape and get abs if I could. In January of 2015, I started BBG 1.0. So at the time, this was just a PDF form, and the breakdown of the workouts are that they're 28 minutes with 4 exercises in 2 rounds, and you repeat the rounds. So technically you do 4 rounds of 7 minutes. So you set a timer, you do 7 minutes, you go through the 4 workouts as many times as you can. And not that it's a rush or anything, it's just as many times as you can. In the 7 minutes, you take a break, you do the next 7, break, 7, break, 7. So it's 28 minutes, ends up being like kind of like a half hour of your day, which is incredible. So those are 3 times a week. So there's the 3 days, like the, let's just say, legs, arms, and abs days. But then on top of that, there are also list days, which are low intensity, steady state, I think. So that's more just like walking, like kind of like an active rest. There's that, and then there's also HIIT days, so high intensity interval training days, which I think she suggested 1 to 2 days a week. I definitely only did that one, and list I think was like 2 to 3 days, plus the HIIT. So it was pretty much a 6-day-a-week program. And if you did all of that the way that she said, I was pretty much sticking to it. I thought her leg day was the most killer. It's been so long since I've done it, but I should be more educated on this. Yeah, and it was just, it's super great for somebody with like a really busy schedule or anything like that, or just has a very little amount of time. or someone who wants to work out at home, which I found extremely appealing, was that I could do this all in my house. Or you could do it at the gym, it's up to you. So that's kind of like the general basis. So 1.0 was more of like body weight stuff, like very small weights. It was like high repetition, all that good stuff. So I did that for 3 months, did not have a fitness Instagram, created my fitness Instagram after one whole 12-week set of BBG. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start this fitness Instagram to stay accountable. And then I like really opened my eyes up to the BBG world. It was crazy. So I made my account in April of 2015, and that's when I decided to start 2.0. So I started 2.0 then, which was a little bit more weights. I mean, still it was like lightweight, but so April I started 2.0, did that for another 12 weeks, and I really started getting like immersed in like the community on Instagram. So it was just through all the hashtags, BBG Community, BBG Sisters, BBG blah blah blah. I started meeting some like really great, really cool people, and my page started growing, and like it was just really different. I didn't know what to expect. So then I finished that. So now I'd been doing BBG for 6 months. So then I did 2.0 again, and then it took me to 9 months. And I think in that time period is when Kayla featured me on her page. And not that that's when my Instagram started changing or anything, because I specifically remember like never gaining like a shit ton of followers from when she would feature me. But I think it was just, we'll get into the politics and all that of things, but I think I just started becoming more of like a known person in BBG, I don't know, towards the 9-month mark. And then I did 2.0 again. Yeah, I literally looking back, I'm like, how was I functioning? But I really did enjoy it. And then this is when Instagram, like things were just booming, rolling, like growing, like amazing for me. So I was just like super hyped, and it was really fun. I don't know. So we're gonna get all into the politics of that. So I did BBG for a full year. I did 1.0 once, and then I did 2.0 3 times. It's psychotic. And during this time, I was also still going to body pump. So I was still getting some lifting in with BBG, because we'll talk about kind of like the pros and cons of it. But I was still getting some type of cross training in with BBG as well. I would do it on my list days, even though it wasn't list in the slightest. You know, but I just couldn't do all cardio all the time, like, ugh. And now it's my job, funny. So then at the beginning of 2016, I actually decided to do 1.0 again, just to go back to the basics, try it. So that was my 5th time doing BBG, and then around that time is when she started rolling out the beta for the app from my memory. So like we got to like try the app, blah, 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 and I think this is when the app was like $1 a month or something, I don't know. But so then I tried 3.0, which was definitely incorporating more weights, because I think that was like her biggest feedback. And 3.0, I guess, is what's maybe on Sweat right now. Not sure, don't quote me on it, I have no idea, whatever. So then after the 3.0, I was like, I think I'm gonna go back to, I went back to either 1.0 or 2.0, I'm not sure. So I did this program for almost 2 years straight, which is bonkers. But I enjoyed it, I really did enjoy it. The reason I stopped wasn't because wasn't because I was like mad at anything. Like I just literally was so burnt out of doing the same shit all the time, and I was bored, and my body was plateauing. Like, and so I was just staying at the same place. Like I lost the fat, I leaned out, I like started getting abs, but I still like wanted to see different changes in like my muscle tone and all this stuff, but I wasn't seeing that with all the cardio that you do. So I started thinking about like lifting, and at that time I think it was a lot of the like OG BBG girls, who we'll get into that, kind of started leaving BBG, and they started like lifting and trying other things, and I was like intrigued by that, because I was like, you know what, I need to switch it up too. I'm bored, I'm not motivated anymore. Even though I could have the beta, and I think like because we were like involved in it or whatever, we could have it for a set price for like a year or something, but it was still like I don't feel like paying for this. So I just got really burnt out, and I think okay, so I pretty much started just like figuring out what I wanted to do next. And at that time, a lot of my friends that I met through BBG like had the same feelings as me. Like we were all just like, oh, we're so burnt out, like we've plateaued, like we need something new because we're not seeing results anymore, and we just like weren't motivated to do it anymore, because it's true, like you do something for a really long time, like you're gonna get bored of it and it's gonna stop working for you. Oh, it's called adaptation syndrome. Like it's normal that your body isn't gonna continue to react to the same things you keep doing, you know? I think another big question that I get and another big topic for BBG is the nutrition guide or the help guide. So I got that when I started. I feel like my voice is a little froggy today. Just must have to go with me and my tea, you know? But the nutrition guide has definitely gotten a lot of hate, and I can understand why. So I got the nutrition guide to kind of just see, because I was so lost, so confused with what on earth to eat, how much to eat, whatever. And I think they've even like gone to court about this stuff. I think that the food that they were suggesting was, and the caloric intake was far too low for anybody who is full on doing her guide. That's just my opinion. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, none of that. But I will say, like, I think it was something like 1,200, maybe 1,500 calories a day. And it was like super, super like measured out. Like, it just was like, I also didn't find the help guide very clear. Like, it would like tell you what you were eating, but it would never say, not all of it would say like how much or how little. And I was like, what the heck? And I remember like you could have like a tablespoon of peanut butter a day, like weird shit like that. So I think the one thing that I think looking back, the nutrition guide was definitely not helpful. It also wasn't the best advice in my opinion, just because I always throughout the whole time I did BBG ate more than the help guide said, because I'm a human being and you guys know, like, I like to eat, I like food, and I was eating way healthier then than I am now, because I was like so, like, my mind was so fucked. Like, I was like trying so hard to like follow the rules. Like, it was like, I definitely looked at Kayla as like she's the almighty God or something, and like I just wanted to please her, which I'm like, looking back, like, why? Like, I don't have ill will against her at all. I'll talk about that as well, but I don't know why. I think the BBG community is a community where you want to please Kayla, and I just feel like that's not super healthy. But anyways, back to the nutrition. I feel like the BBG community in general and the nutrition aspect and the food was all about like, how healthy can I be? When I just feel like that's not realistic. It's not sustainable. And I felt like there were never posts about like balance. There were never posts like in the, not even just in the community, but from Kayla herself or, you know, whatever, like about moderation and all that good stuff. It was like, you're always justifying if you're eating cake or if you're eating French, you know what I mean? It was like you're always having to justify like, oh, but I got in an extra workout today, or oh, like it's my birthday, or oh, I'm gonna make this up tomorrow. Like, and I think that's why my mind was so fucked when it came to food for a while, because I was just like always having to justify eating in moderation or balance or something that would make me happy. Like, I swear to God, I didn't eat ice cream for like 6 months or something crazy like that when I was doing BBG. So I think that's one thing that like isn't necessarily like the healthiest thing for people to like dive into and try to do. But in terms of the guide, I think that at the time I wanted to lose body fat, I wanted to like lean out, I wanted to like get abs or work towards getting abs. And I think, like, I'm not shitting on BBG, like I do think that it is a good guide if that's what you're looking for. And I think that it does involve a lot of plyometrics, a lot of jumping, so it may not be great on your joints over time. I'm, once again, not a physical therapist or anything like that. It's just things I've read and things that I've heard, things my body felt. And I do think that it was a great guide for me to get started, to like jumpstart my fitness journey, to jumpstart everything that I wanted. And, you know, it definitely helps with that. It helps if you're just trying to like lose body fat. If you just want a quick workout, I think it's really, really great. And if you're especially not trying to be in the Instagram world with it and you just want to do the workout, I say go for it, try it, all good and gravy. So let's talk a little bit more about, I guess, the community. And this isn't a reason why I stopped. I mean, I really did stop because I was like super burnt out and because I just wanted something new. And I also, over time, started learning about other types of fitness and everything. And I do feel that there are some things about BBG that aren't sustainable for a healthy lifestyle. I think it's something that you can do for a certain amount of time. And like I said, I did it for almost 2 years. But in the end, it's not something like I could keep doing because one, I got really burnt out of it. I like hate cardio, and yet I was doing it all the time, or especially plyometrics. I just felt like the eating especially was not sustainable at all, and like you shouldn't have to constantly justify what you're eating. But let's just get into it. So when it comes to the community, there are two sides to it. So basically, I think the BBG community was great for like people encouraging people who are on like the same weeks or anything like that. And I will say the BBG community brought me some of my closest friends from Instagram, which I am forever grateful for. I will always remember that. I will always remember that. I will always cherish those friendships. And I'm fortunate enough that I think I got in at a decent time where you can form those relationships, and everything wasn't necessarily about competition at that time. But with that, I will say, I do think, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I think that the BBG community on Instagram can be a very toxic place. I think, and I was in the freaking middle of it. And there's so many things. So with the competition, it's just like everybody wanted to be featured by Kayla. I know that I did, and it was constantly like you were trying to please her, which I already talked about, and it was almost like you weren't validated unless she shared your progress photo. It was almost like your progress didn't matter if she didn't see it, if she didn't share it, which I think is like kind of a fucked up way to make your community feel. And I'm not judging that. She has millions of followers. Like, it's not like she can see everything. It's not like she can post everything. But I do think there were a lot of politics when it came to BBG, the BBG girls, the it girls at the time. And like when I started getting into it, there were all the it girls that I looked up to, who it was like, they were like everywhere. Like, I mean, most people, if they've been around as long as me, probably know exactly who I'm talking about. If you're watching this video, you know exactly who you are. You would motivate me, you inspire me, like, thank you. And then it was like, it's kind of like, I like just don't like to upset people, and I don't want to like shit talk anybody, but like, I do think it's something that needs to be addressed when it comes to this community. I think that there was a time when I think I was one of those people, or yeah, I truly do. And yeah, long story short, I think at the time there was a point where I was featured on Kayla's page multiple times, and I was definitely one of the people that people probably like recognized my name, my handle, my face, whatever, and they saw me as an someone to aspire to be like, because you can be in the in crowd. And I look back and I kind of feel gross about it, and I will say I don't regret a lot of the things that I did with that, because it gave me great friendships, and you know, it helped me with my Instagram 100% get to where it is. I give so much credit to Kayla and her team for helping me fall in love with fitness, for helping me kind of find my way, and it all started with BBG. And my Instagram, I definitely credit to the growth and everything from the BBG community being involved. So like, I will never ever ever take any of that away, because whenever someone asks me, I'm like, oh, BBG, like I give a lot of credit to it. But if we're talking about the breakdown of the politics of the BBG community, I think that a lot of the community was more based on physical progress than it was on mental progress. Like, I just feel like your mental progress only went with how you felt physically. Does that make sense? So it's like it doesn't even matter. Like, if you're starting to feel better about yourself, you're starting to feel more confident, because it was like, but what's your side to side look like? What's your whatever week to whatever week look like? Like, what do your abs look like? Because it was like, honestly, like, it just felt like if you didn't have abs in the BBG community, like no one gave a fuck. Or, I mean, not necessarily abs, but there were just a lot. There was just a lot. And I thought it was definitely more focused on the physical, which, yes, fitness, that's what people want to see when they go to see results. They want to see someone side to side, their changes. I get that. When it comes to all the politics, all the drama, I guess you could say, there was a lot of it. And I just felt like there were these it girls who, there was a group before me, there was the group that I was kind of in, whatever, there was a group after me. with these it girls, it was just kind of, and I know that a lot of people feel this way, it was just like they were picked for a few months. They like were talking about it nonstop on social media. And then when a new group rolled in, they were just dropped. And I literally witnessed this happening. And then it happened to me. It's fine. I understand that she's running a business. I get that. But I will say it definitely made me, it made some of my friends who this also happened to, feel pretty shitty because we did what I think is so much free marketing for this brand. Free marketing for this brand. And you know, after we started falling off, after we grew together on this platform, after we grew together in the community, once we decided that we wanted to try something else because our lives were changed by BBG, it was like, well, bye, and you don't matter anymore, and I'm gonna unfollow you, and all this crazy stuff. And I was like, okay, all right. I don't know, I never feel like I know how to word this. And like I said, I understand that it's a business. Just don't make us feel like we're your friends if we're not gonna be treated that way. That's the tea. Let's just like wrap this all up. I don't know, like, I don't know if that gave anybody any insight, or some people who probably have no idea what's going on in the Instagram world probably are just like, yeah, whatever you're talking about. But let's go back through the pros and cons, because I do want people to understand that this is not a fully negative video. It's definitely not a negative review when it comes to her workout plan. So pros, I think, are if you want to lose weight, if you want to like reveal muscle tone, if you want to lean out a little bit, if you want something that's quick, something that's easy to follow, something that you can do at home or at the gym. If you have a really busy life, I think this is a great workout for you. I think it's something you can get done fast, and I think that it does have results for sure. Negatives, I think, are just be wary of the nutrition guide, the help guide, unless she's came out with a new one, not sure. I think another con would probably be the cost of the app. But I did look it up the other day, and I saw that it's $120 for an entire year. So I really actually don't think that that's that bad. So it's just all what you're, willing to do. I feel like anybody, you would pay them for their guide anyway. Where before, I think Kayla's was $60 for each guide. And now you have access to the app, I believe, for $120 a year. If it's more than that, sorry, but honestly, that's really not that bad, because I know that you get a lot of extra things in the app now. And there are different options of the type of workouts you can do, like the power workouts, the BBG, I assume, and the like mind body stuff. A few more cons, I guess you'd say, is I do think it is a lot of cardio. I think it's a lot on your body, so I think that it's something you might have to consider cross-training with. But like I said, I don't know exactly how they've switched it up in the app anymore. I don't have it. If you, for some reason, are in the Instagram world when it comes to BBG, I would try to stay clear of any type of drama, any type of negative people, any type of politics. Like, if you're truly just doing it I feel like a lot of us that I know who were in the same situation as me, we started our Instagrams to stay accountable, and then things just kind of blew up, and we started making it more of like a side hustle, more of a job, and that's how things change now. Like, I'm not sure if that's what the BBG community is like anymore on Instagram. I will say, if you've been following me since the BBG days, I truly appreciate you for being a real OG and for your continued support, even though I did switch. So while I'm not part of the BBG community anymore, like I'm not active in it, I will say that BBG always has like a place in my heart, because it is what made me fall in love with fitness. It is what made me realize that I think this is a path that I want to go. It's what's helped me grow my Instagram and my business on there. So like, there are a lot of things that I'm super grateful for, and those years of my life where I was making so many good friends on Instagram, it's allowed me to travel to like New York and like see everybody, go to different like meetups, like host meetups myself. Like, it was a good time for me, and it is a good guide. I think more of the negative stuff comes from me, just because from all like the politics, and because I definitely got burnt out, and I definitely think that the food is something you really need to tweak a little bit. And in the end, I think I just want people to know that like all progress is not just physical, you can have so much progress mentally as well, and it's still considered a success. It's still considered results. And like I said, I owe a lot to BBG. I owe a lot to Kayla, to Toby, to their whole team, and I will never not say that. There are just certain things that, you know, I just wanted to be fully transparent with everybody on here because I've been asked this over the years and I just never really wanted to tackle it, and now, you know, here it is. I hope you guys found this insightful, helpful, something. If that's what you're looking for, I totally think you should invest in yourself and see what happens for you. And that's it. So if you guys have not subscribed already, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button below. It's gonna be a good time. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my handle is just CalFitLife. Come follow me over there too. And thanks for watching day 4. I know it was a big one. I'll see you guys for day 5.